Ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to see you on our online course. We do hope that our cooperation will be successful and you will be able to achieve the goals which you'd like to achieve during the course. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I will be your mentor during the whole course. My name is Tatiana. I do hope that our cooperation will be successful and you will achieve all the goals which you want to achieve. So if you have any questions, you can call me anytime. I hope, no, not hope, I'm sure that we will be in touch 24 hours a day, because you are supposed to dive to get absorbed into the language, so you'd better work as many hours as you can during the day. First of all, I'd like to tell you some words about the structure of our course. It includes in itself all the necessary points. First, it is grammar, second, vocabulary, reading, and pronunciation, listening. Now maybe you are a little bit puzzled why I haven't pronounced the word speaking. I know that almost all the students are focused on speaking first of all, and see almost every day we have a lot of client students who come to our office and ask ask us just to study them to speak. Unfortunately, we meet such uneducated guys who don't understand why it is so important to do grammar, to do vocabulary, to read texts, to work on pronunciation, and so on. I do hope that you understand that it is impossible to achieve your goals if you are not focused on all the points which are prescribed for us to do if you want to make progress in studying language. Taking into consideration the fact that you are distant students, you will have to do the course individually. So that is why it is very important to follow all the procedures one by one, not to skip over individual exercises or even to skip over the whole sections. So you have to do step by step, as I said, not to miss any points which are given in our course. So let's elaborate on all the aspects represented in the course. First of all, usually the first point which is put as number one, it is grammar, then vocabulary and reading. Why is it so? Grammar, as you understand, grammar is a structure. Is a structure of the language. So you have to understand what grammar will be used in this or that lesson, what structures, what grammar tense, what you must be focused in each lesson. So that is why it will be easier for you to see the structures in the text and recognize them in listening tasks as well. So when you hear the structure, when you see the structure, when you are ready to see the new one, so it's quite easier for you to do the whole lesson step by step. Then vocabulary. The next section is vocabulary, and this is not surprising because knowing the grammar structure, it is easy to implement in your vocabulary. So if you, for example, if you know the vocabulary, don't know the structure, you aren't able to put the members, the parts of the sentence correctly, and so on. So they are linked, vocabulary and grammar. Then the second point is reading. You will be given a text, and usually in the text itself you will see new grammar structures and new phrases or idioms, phrasal verbs, or whatever it is given in a lesson. The next point which I'd like to emphasize, to underline for you, it is pronunciation. Yes, I understand that all of you know the importance of listening. If you can't listen, if you can't hear a speaker, a native speaker or non-native speaker, it's impossible to communicate, right? But almost all the students don't like listening, don't like doing, I mean not listening, don't like doing pronunciation exercises. So they think that it is relevant, or it is pronunciation is not so important. So I totally disagree, because you can't hear well if you don't follow the English pronunciation rules. You can't hear well if you don't pronounce, if you don't try to pronounce correctly the English sounds, if you don't try to imitate their intonation, if you are not used to noticing, for example, stress, sentence stress, and so on, stressed words in the sentence, it is much more complicated. It will be much more complicated to hear people, to listen to people, and to understand what they're talking about. So that is why pronunciation section includes in itself sounds, sentence stress, word stress, linking, I mean how to link the words correctly inside the sentences, and intonation questions and affirmative sentences. By the way, there is one tip. I've asked one of the members of our team, not to forget to use our sound bank, which is uploaded on the platform as well. Please refer to the sound bank as many times as you can when it is important, when you start doing, when you get down to work with the pronunciation section. Therefore, after doing pronunciation exercises, it will be much easier for you to move on listening section, and you will be able to understand people much easier. I think the best way is to do pronunciation exercises every day, as well as any other ones, I say. Okay, so speaking. As for speaking, now you will see this section, which is given separately. It can be given at the end of the lesson as a summary, usually speaking as a summary of all the previous sections, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, listening. Sometimes it happens, I mean, it is given at the end of the lesson, speaking, where you will have to use your new grammar, structures, points, your new vocabulary, but sometimes it is given inside the section itself. I mean, inside, for example, the reading section, or inside the listening section, before listening, after listening. So you mustn't be worried about the fact that you won't be able to speak to produce your thoughts, ideas into English. Sure, I understand that you are alone. Unfortunately, it is quite difficult to find a partner, by the way, to partner to work with, or to work in a pair. If it is possible, maybe you will find some people, maybe you will make some friends during the course. It will be wonderful if you have a partner. Usually, I put such words. If you work alone, do it this way. If you work in pairs, do this exercise this way. If it is impossible for you to find a partner, and if you're supposed to work alone on exercises, try to write as much as you can. I mean, now, writing. Now I'm moving on to another section, writing. Why is writing so important? I mean, writing, it can be an article, it can be a dialogue, it can be some complaint, or any kind of writing. It is very, very important. So your speech, your progress in speech and communicative skills can be divided into two ways. One of them is, as I say, a free speech. I mean, without any preparations, spontaneous spontaneous speech. For example, you see some questions and you try to answer them. The other kind of speech is when it is prepared. I mean, once again, it can be an article, it can be a composition, it can be some story. First, you work on it, you think about your ideas, you put them on, and then you try to express them, you try to tell. I often ask students who work online to upload his ideas, I mean his compositions, his articles, ideas, his dialogues on the platform. Maybe it is possible, it will be possible for you to put your compositions and so on Instagram, just to compare. It will be wonderful for you and for other students who are doing the course to compare your ideas, to look at the progress which other students are doing during the course. It would be amazing, because it's a kind of a collaborative work. It's a kind of a collaborative. It's a teamwork. It can be teamwork as well. So, and the other 2 points which I'd like to focus on, 2 sections, I mean songs and video materials. Every 2 lessons, or maybe 3 lessons, you will see a song. Why songs? I think you're not surprised, because lots of people try to study any foreign language, not only English, try to study a foreign language through songs. It's one of the crucial moments to understand, to listen, to native speaker or non-native speaker, to listen and to understand, to perceive what they're talking about. But songs help much better, because you can feel the rhythm of the language, the rhythm and speech sensitivity. It is a fundamental step in language learning. Usually songs are presented in 3 stages. The first stage, you will see, it is a pre-study activities. First, you will get to know the theme of a song, then look through the new vocabulary, implement it into the song. The second step is listening itself. During the second stage, you will have to complete the activities and tasks which directly concern the song. You will have maybe to identify the subject matter of the song, to tick sentences, true or false. Sometimes you will have to listen to a song and underline something in the text. And as for our course, stage number 3, usually we ask students to again to upload the song which you are supposed to sing yourself. Why not? It will be wonderful, amazing to listen to how you sing. And by the way, it's very useful for you to sing in English, because you will start, I can say it again, you will start feeling the rhythm of the language. So it's really useful for us, supportive kind of material. Okay, and the last one is video materials. There you will see a story about some Jenny and Rob. There will be 5 episodes. All of them are linked. It is a story which will be represented to you. Not just the video, you will discuss, you will look through some grammar points as well, not grammar, but some maybe some interesting question forms, I mean, but you will get to know how to communicate with relatives, I mean relationships with relatives, how you can introduce yourself to other people, how to interview someone or to be interviewed, how to ask permission and to do something in response, how to make suggestions and to respond to suggestions, and how to make indirect questions and discuss a problem. So this material is given in these 5 episodes, and there are 2 extra video lessons which concern life in Great Britain. you will see some little topics about parliament, English weather, English gardens, sport, sailing, so in the sea, traveling. So the topics are, we do hope that the topics will be quite interesting for you. And what else? So you can work at the end of each lesson. You will see some additional material which is represented after the main body of each lesson. Most of the students usually say, "Oh, sorry, we don't have enough time to do the exercise, all the exercises which are given in your course." But if you really want to make progress, you understand that you will have to spend a lot of time, and if you want to know the language better than any other students, or if you really are motivated, you had better do all the exercises which are given in our additional material as well. As for the additional material, it refers to the topic of each lesson. You will see there are some additional grammar exercises, additional vocabulary exercises in accordance with the topic discussed during the lesson, then idioms, phrasal verbs, and there is also some speaking material. Which you can work on with a partner or alone. And the last point is reading. When you, it's a rule. Our dear friends, it's a rule. If you want to know the language, you must, not had better, not should, you must read some book, because reading English is great for learning new vocabulary, first of all. Then reading helps to develop a habit of thinking in English. If you stop reading, you forget the language. It's a law. It's not just it's a law. If you stop reading in a foreign language, you forget the language. Reading develops your ability to infer meaning from text you don't fully understand. If you have a context, and if you don't know a word which is given in the text, you can guess the word, and because you have a context, and it is much easier to remember new words when you have a context. Sure, it's a law. And the last one, reading English fiction helps with integration in an English-speaking society. So, as for this genre, it's up to you to decide. Some people like fiction, some people like fantasy, some people like detective stories. So it is up to you to decide which genre to choose. Maybe, right, it can be even articles, but articles are articles, but fiction is fiction. Anyway, just my advice to read as much as you can. So as for working on the text, on reading, on this kind of reading, not that reading which is given in the lesson, but that reading, you can, as for your level, pre-intermediate, intermediate, first of all, you can retell the chapter using some new vocab, right? And then maybe even as for intermediate level, you are able to discuss maybe some chapters, the behavior of characters, why do they so, why do they this way or that way, so just to discuss the novel or stories, if you like it, if you don't, why you like the story, why you don't like the story, why you like this character or that one. So, and you can upload your ideas about the book you are reading on our platform or on Instagram. I think it's a good way. So, do hope that our cooperation will be successful and we will be able to achieve the goals we'd like to achieve. So, bye-bye, see you.